Hi, my name is Caleb Lindsay, and today is August 16th. This is going to be my week 3 submission for FTE 211, which is like the Advanced Armorers class for the 1911. So today I'm going to be getting 3 components out of this 1911, which I still have taken apart. I actually filmed all of this yesterday, and I put the video together and went to clean out my photo library kind of thing, and accidentally deleted it. So I'm going to redo all of this. Okay, I'm going to use the same components as yesterday, um, and I'm going to talk about the critical dimensions, what gunsmiths need to learn how to or train on how to fix it, um, and then what components they're interacting with, and all kinds of stuff. So here we go. All right, so the first component that I got on here ended up being the feed ramp. All right, so first question is what are the critical dimensions associated with this component? So the critical dimensions on the feed ramp is mostly going to be the angle of the feed ramp, okay? You don't want it too steep, you don't want it too shallow, and then there's also that kind of a gap between the feed ramp and the chamber or the barrel. Okay, so we're going to be looking at that stuff for our critical dimensions. The potential malfunctions that you could have in regard to the feed ramp would be failure to feed. Okay, like if you've got your feed ramp all just too vertical almost. Like if you actually went and polished this and ended up taking out a bunch of material, and now you've got like a feed ramp that almost goes underneath the chamber. Okay, that could stop your cartridge from actually chambering. Okay, so it'd be a failure to feed. What training should a gunsmith undergo to avoid causing damage to these components? Not much. Okay, so about the only thing that happens with the feed ramp is polishing, which I'm pretty sure is something that we're actually going to be doing in this class. You just have to make sure that you're not actually taking material off of it, you're just smoothing the surface, making it easier for those cartridges to go up. And then the last part was what additional components interact with the components that I ended up with, and what are their critical dimensions. Okay, so I think what that question is meaning is like what that feed ramp interacts with, which would be the barrel, okay, or really the chamber or the leading into the throat of the barrel. Okay, and like I was talking about, you're like, and it's hard to see, but like I'm going to lift up just a little bit. Okay, so there's like a gap in between the barrel and the feed ramp. If you remove material from that feed ramp, you could end up messing up the the cycle of operations while you're trying to get your cartridge into the chamber. So the next component that I got was the barrel bushing. Okay, so critical dimensions on this thing is going to be just your I guess not really tension, but how well it fits. Okay, so the first thing would be this little tiny lug right here. Okay, so all that lug is doing, excuse me, is it's keyed up with the inside of the slide there, and that's how it's locked in. Okay, so you have to make sure that lug is fitting snugly inside of the slide. Next, you have the outside diameter of the bushing, also fitting snugly inside of the slide, and then the inside of your bushing fitting snugly around the barrel. Some of the damage that you might see, it's pretty common, because if you're thinking about this, okay, your barrel is going to be reciprocating inside of this thing as you're firing the weapon, right? So you'll see some wear and tear on the inside of that. And then another thing that I wanted to bring up was a lot of people do relief cuts on like this is like the back bottom of this thing. A lot of people will do relief cuts on that, and then the top front side of this, and that's going to assist in like the barrel tilt while it's reciprocating back. Okay, yeah, so that pretty much covers the barrel bushing. Okay, so the last thing that I got was the grip safety. Okay, so this is an aftermarket one. I don't know where I put the original one. It looks very similar. This is just an extended beaver tail. to help with like the whole hammer bite kind of thing, and it just feels better on the webbing of your hand. Anyways, so the critical dimensions on this is going to be fitment, okay, on the sides. So this is a sort of a drop in. So the dimensions on the side, the measurements on the side are already good to go. Then you've got your lip down here on the bottom, which is going to mate up with your mainspring housing. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but it should sit just like that when it's not depressed, and kind of like that when it is depressed. So a little movement, but it's there. The other critical dimension that I wanted to bring up was this little tang coming off of it right here. Okay, so that mates up with your trigger bow. Okay, it should be sitting just like that. Now, when this is not depressed, it should be sitting up against the trigger bow in a fashion that the trigger cannot move rearward. When you depress the grip safety, so I'll have to shave off material to make this actually work. You should pivot up that way. This part of the tang, the top part of the tang, should be sliding up the inside of like the magwell area, and it gives just enough room that the trigger bow is no longer obstructed by this part, and can slide back into your disconnected sear spring, all of that. Okay, that's how you're gonna use, or that's how this works. Okay, so wear and tear on it, not really much to talk about. Shouldn't be any wear and tear on this. And then the only thing that I could think of when it was asking what people should train on to not damage it is this tang. Okay, so like I'm gonna have to shave off part of this thing for proper fitment and operation of the firearm. And if you shave off too much, then it's completely ineffective. It's no longer a safety. So if I take off too much of that bottom part of the tang right there, then it's not stopping my trigger bow at all. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, so that concludes my my week 3 submission. Thank you.